everyone, and welcome to Patriot Crusader Missions Christian Warrior Talk, where the Christian Fellowship Show, where we stop in our busy daily lives, our hectic, crazy routines. All right, so hello everyone, and welcome to Patriot Crusader Mission, the Christian Warrior Fellowship Show, where we take times out of our busy, hectic lives. The saying here, the fellowship is never convenient. It never is. So this is our attempt to bridge the gap, to lock shields with you guys in the Christian faith community, Christian conservative faith community, because I know how hard it is to have time to go out and find brothers and sisters in Christ and to, in a meaningful way. So we decided a long time ago to start this program, particularly when COVID launched, to be there for one another, to celebrate our victories, to learn from our setbacks, and to continue to pour into one another, because boy, do we need it. So I'm going to go tap the screen. My face is pretty blurry. Your face, you can do that. No Santa PJs anymore. Yeah, well, where do I find them? Just tap me, and then we're both equidistant. There we go. That's much better. Thank you. So it's been a tough week. It's been a tough week. We're coming off of the sprints of multiple work trips, wedding, a bunch of other things, company, losing my mom to going back. Good evening, Claudia. Good to see you. Strength and honor to you.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
Try that again.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
Okay. And strength and honor to you, my wife.
Strength and honor. 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 Strength and honor.
So,
strength and honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
So if you're new to this show, grab your favorite beverage. If you have a problem with alcoholic beverages, then grab another beverage. Lauren's preggo, so she's drinking sparkling water. Bubbly. She's getting crazy. She's going crazy tonight. So, man, if you haven't been to this show before, grab your favorite drink. Like I said, doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage. If you have a problem with alcoholic beverage, do not stumble because of this show. Go grab water, bubbly, iced tea. I don't care, whatever you do. Yeah, exactly. So, but for the rest of you, by all means, partake. It was, like I said, this was a rough week for a lot of reasons. And, this whole show should be about resilience, because this week was one of the hardest weeks I think we've ever had. Lauren's mic's not on. Try now.
Thanks, Claudia.
Thank you, Claudia. So, wow, we're rusty, tired, smoked. Apologize. But this whole week, I seriously had to put to the test about 1,000 times. Just do the next right thing. Just keep moving. Howdy from hot Texas.
That's Donna.
All right. Hey, Donna.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
Hello, Donna.
So, Danae, strength and honor.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
So just coming off the high of our wedding weekend, which wasn't like some restful thing. It was stress incarnate, doing it yourself and not going somewhere. And, everything, we've just been pouring out. And to great effect. You know, getting my mom saved was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Getting my neighbor and my friend Tyler saved is another one. You know, and doing big, amazing things. But man, am I tired.
Yeah. It does tend to kind of all hit you at once.
Well, and
It's
then
been it's been an interesting dynamic week as well. So that's kind of on
just
top of all of it.
everything was harder. Like everything was almost just felt like things that should have been effortless were almost impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Conversations,
Mm-hmm.
work relationships, like everything was so darn hard. Hey, two guys, good to see
Strength and
you.
honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
Made it before the outro prayer tonight.
Yeah. So the main thing though is I'll tell you, I have never been so relieved to sit down in this chair, grab a cold beverage, and be done with this week. You know, and that, you know, if you, as you guys know, I got a little medical, I don't want to call it a scare, but I believe I've had a mass on my kidney since at least 2004 when I was in Iraq and they found it and they removed my adrenal gland. But my new round of providers just discovered it. And so they did an ultrasound and now they've ordered, you know, which told me I guess was inconclusive or whatever. So now they're, just to be cautious, they're doing an MRI on it.
So when this was seen before, the diagnosis at that time was what?
That it was, you know, at first they thought, you know, hey, you might be burning it. And then they're like, no, you know, through somebody else gave opinions that it's just nothing.
A cyst?
Yeah, a cyst or a blood blister from my parachuting accident, you know, something like that. So again, you know, I grow cysts for some reason. I grew one on my kidney. I grew one on my whatever, on my adrenal glands that they pulled for no reason. So keep me in your prayers. The last thing I want to be dealing with right now, of course, is cancer. I'll fight whatever the Lord wants me to do, but you know, you can't help but have that in the back of your mind.
Well, especially when, and I know that ultrasounds are kind of the most likely thing to come up as inconclusive. So
Right.
it's not really a scary outcome, but still you wish that it would just be good to go.
Right. So like they did my thyroid has, you know, has a cyst on it. So they did a biopsy on that and it was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I mean there's three things in a row. Right. So again, so just keep me in your prayers, but that's been nagging at me. And then, you know, right now, you know, because of all the investments and vet bills and just trips without credit card reimbursements coming in, or travel trips where reimbursements are, you know, coming or going, and just the flow of the billing cycles and all that stuff, we are just wrecked financially right now. And this isn't to be like, hey, we're just telling you what's going on in our life, you know. Up, John.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
So we're in the robbing Peter to pay Paul phase of catching back up on all that, waiting for all the billing cycles to come in and invoices and all that stuff from Trident and from other things. It's just been one heck of a week.
And then every time there's been a bad day, I get to make it worse by asking when he's going to go shoot the raccoon that we trapped.
Yeah.
Because we've caught three now.
Three this week. So I've been the angel of death for three raccoons, which I can't stand doing.
Yeah.
You know,
you get mad at them because they kill your chickens. And then once they're in the trap and you feel bad for them.
But you feel bad for them because you're
not bad enough to let them go, because they did a number on our chickens. So we just can't risk it. But yeah, it sucks once you have a kind of a helpless animal in there that you're in charge of their fate.
You know, I'm not Joey Hunter anyways. And we're not, I mean, if we were eating them, I could see.
Yeah, I was almost wondering, like, if we keep having this problem, are there some like Jimmy Bobs around here that would eat raccoon?
Call them Bubbas affectionately.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe there's some Bubbas that'll make some raccoons
to make it a little bit more worthwhile.
I just, you know, they're cute.
Yeah, I've definitely heard from the farmers, don't be lulled by the cuteness, because they're vicious jerks when it comes to
they've tried to get me, which I don't blame them.
I know. Yeah. when I
The
went
one
to
today
when
was
was
fierce.
feisty. Yeah.
Yeah.
I came at my hand when I went to move the
Yeah,
trap
he
this
was
morning.
big. He was big too. He
Yeah.
was the biggest one we've seen so far.
Yeah. So we'll see. I didn't set the trap because I didn't clean it out after you did it tonight, but I have the camera on. So we have no idea how many there are because generally they've been coming kind of one at a time that we saw on camera. A couple nights ago, I did see a second one at the same time. So I knew that we were dealing with more, but we'll see. I'm assuming that's the one we ended up catching last night. And then we've seen some possums who continue to evade the traps. But because we had a turkey killed
Yeah, we had a
since last.
a congregant's dog.
We there's a chance. I put it out in my farm group because like, can a raccoon take down a 3-month-old turkey? I mean, they're big. And
Huge.
there was a fair amount of people that said, yeah, absolutely. But the injury pattern was not consistent with raccoon. So it's not definitive that it's our neighbor's dog. But we did see the neighbor's dog kind of show up on
95% chance.
on camera as well. So because we didn't get the actual killing on camera, we just saw a raccoon and the dog on camera that night.
I mean, I'm about to make a Davy Crockett.
And this was right behind our house, like, and we didn't hear it, and our
Well, I
dogs
just saw. I
didn't hear
was
it
gonna
either.
say that Chris's dog was in our yard today
Again,
during the gym.
Mhm.
I scared him out 5 minutes.
That's why
later,
Odin
he
was
back.
barking, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Valkyrie did nothing. They just sniffed butts.
Yeah.
Our dogs are. I'm starting to hate our dogs because they're so useless. Like they do nothing. They do nothing except consume.
Mhm.
Never encountered anything so useless.
Well, welcome to domesticated pets.
Yeah. So, anyways, so I got to repent for that. But the other thing that you got to be really careful of when you come on hard times is not
Definitely
reverting.
find someone named Cooter who will eat raccoons. John says. Probably, I would think around here that someone would make use. I mean, if they're all that excited about snapping turtles around here, you'd think that there'd be some people who would take a raccoon off our hands.
It doesn't look like there's a lot of meat on.
People eat rabbit.
It's true. It's true. I don't know.
I don't know. I would think people raccoon hunt all the time. So, I would, anyways.
The main thing when you're struggling like this.
And hey, Brandy.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
Brandy.
Strength and honor.
We just had motion detection, which is probably that dog.
Mm.
But
Do you want me to message him?
I did already.
You did.
He said
Okay.
that he's already up, so maybe it's not. But
Okay.
he's got to replace a pin on the fence or something.
Okay.
But anyways, for the third time now, it's really important when your life starts spiraling in and you're in a storm, right? We always say you have your mountains and then you have your valleys to get to your next mountains. You have your storms. We would love to get a working dog for the farm today, but they're like $2,500 a piece, and we're just paying our electricity bill right now the way things are. And
That is the goal, and a definite, probably within maybe the year. We're hoping to lose some of our current dogs before getting
naturally,
farm dogs.
so
Yeah.
But-
So, if you want to pray Rainbow Bridge for Dills and Valkyrie, you're welcome to. We won't hold it against you.
yeah. But it's so tempting when you're in a storm, to revert back to your lower self,
Mhm.
right? You're a Christian when things are great, and you're a joy to be around when things are great. But who are you when it sucks?
Mhm.
And I've had some mixed success this week for sure, where I have not been a joy to be around, and had you recognize it, and you in your genius way coming up and praying for me and resetting me. And then there's been some other times where I've been able to reset myself. But I've been short with the kids. I had to
Mhm.
apologize to B
Mhm.
for for just being grumpy.
Yeah.
Explaining like, hey, I'm not my usually fun, silly self this morning because I'm having a hard time with some things, which is a term she's used to.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I've definitely had to apologize to her too for just being unnecessarily short or impatient or just not being as kind as she's deserving in any given moment. But She understands. I think it's always a good lesson and practice to recognize it and apologize, no matter what age kids you're dealing with.
Right.
Not just let that sit and let them think that's acceptable behavior. But I saw a reel this week that kind of made me ponder about, I think it was some rabbi or I don't know, but it's about kind of I'm going to screw this up. Don't push your kids. Like the way to get them to kind of grow up and live a good life is don't push your kids, pull them, make them demonstrate for them a life that is so irresistible that they will want to follow you in it. And I've had to that was one thing on a bad day for me this week, thinking about, am I demonstrating an irresistible life for our kids, or are they going to see that farming and homesteading and Christianity and all of these things, or what, kind of whatever we have our package deal right now, is that a life that they're going to say, gosh, that our mom and dad are just like stressed to the max. I don't want that for myself. Or
I'm praying that this season isn't eternal.
Sure.
That's for sure.
But it made me think, because we definitely have days that are like, I can imagine that our kids would be like, oh, we wouldn't want that for ourselves. Yeah.
And it's, again, we're not doing anything the right way. It's not like we have an excess amount of funds to build everything perfect. I mean, we're doing the best we can and maintaining the best we can. And, and it's building the plane while you're flying it, which is a horrible thing to be in. But
I don't want to be on that plane.
Well, we're stuck on it right now.
A half-built plane.
Yeah, we haven't got the windshield on, and we're getting birds in the face and hail and winds and
sounds
just
like
about
fun.
everything. Yeah. So anyways, needless to say, I don't feel like I felt like we held it together.
Yeah.
Between us.
Pretty well.
I don't feel like we drifted apart or anything like that.
No, I'd say that was one success for the week, which is a big one.
I didn't have any resentment for you. I assume you didn't have any resentment for me. I think just more sympathy for each other on what the other's going through. I just don't want to be so darn tired all the time anymore. Like, I hate being tired.
You say as the expectant father to a third child in 4 months.
I know, but I just don't want to be. Oh, Chris, what's up?
Strength and honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
So, I don't want to live on rip fuel or whatever to keep me going.
No.
So unhealthy for you, but there are months where that's what keeps me going.
I'll talk about your fitness improvements over the last week, because that's something that this crowd is pretty familiar with as far as your journey.
Yeah. Well, we've been working out for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. The past, 2-3 weeks, me and Tyler, neighbor, and it's been great for me. My body's responding, but like today was the workout I was most proud of. I was absolutely exhausted. I was falling asleep walking in the gym. Had to go kill a raccoon before, which is my least favorite things. Now I'm covered in mud and coming in there and smelling like death and everything else. And went in there and I was weak. Weak because I've been stressed out all week, not getting good sleep. And normally I would be totally crushed. But I was so pumped that I was actually in there and coming alive in there, that I was able to grind it out and felt accomplished.
That's great.
And
an accountability buddy showed up, which always has been helping you a lot.
Well, it's so much harder to quit when particularly when someone you're mentoring.
Yeah.
You got to put your foot forward, best foot forward, and show them how to deal with things. And even when you don't want to, you get out there, you start moving. And it's like everything. There's no workout you ever regret doing.
Mhm.
You regret every single one you don't do.
Mhm.
And so glad about that. Um, so again, keep me in your prayers that I'm able to stay healthy. My body has been relatively cooperating. I'm going in for another knee injection. My knees just bothering me, and that'll be awesome because that'll bring me back to 21 again.
Mhm.
And while I'm hitting my stride in the gym,
There you go. Progress.
but you have been taking a massive burden. And I'm trying to figure out a way to where I can tag out with you in the morning, or to find a way where I can give you a break without me losing my mind.
Working towards it. This week was a double whammy for me, especially because Barb left and
We miss
Cher,
my
our
mom so much, not just for companionship and for, I mean, she is, I'll give you actually an update on that. But anyways, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so Cher, who helps me out 4 mornings a week so that I can kind of go out and do chores without kids and all that stuff. She has this week off as well. So it was like I went from extra help with Barb to nothing. And so yeah, it was a kick in the butt. It made me I appreciated it while she was here, while Barb was here, kind of recognizing the blessing of having family around. And that's something that Jason and I have talked about a lot of, we're here as a little island, and just knowing that having extended family and in-laws and people who want to pour into your kids and help in any kind of way that they can. That's what community is, and that's the ideal way to have your family, is multi-generational, kind of all in the same area and helping. And so got the first little taste of that really ever.
It was so
And
good
it was
to have
really
a
good, and you can
team.
see what it's supposed to be like. And so then kind of having that taken away, with the hope and I mean, it's definite. It's just we don't know the timeline that she's going to be back. So yeah, it kind of made it extra hard for her not to be here, just because you miss that for multiple reasons.
Yeah. And I just want to say that I'm so proud of my mom. She went into the buzzsaw of secular Canada, and she's evangelizing everyone.
She is
so
it's
on fire
amazing,
for
her
Jesus.
sanctification
Her-
process. She's like, all these conversations are so boring now.
Yeah. She went there, and now instead of letting them gossip and talk about destructive things, all she wants to talk about is her Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'm just so darn proud of her that she didn't go there and get discouraged. She didn't go get discouraged. She went right into it
Mhm.
and kept it, and has been doing 2 hours of Bible a day.
That's awesome. To have the time
to have the time to do
But no,
that.
good for her. Yeah, it's just people who she's like her best friend, who she spends hours on the phone with her in person every day. She's now like, I have nothing to talk to her about. It's like, if that's not Jesus working some
Magic.
Jesus love in her heart,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really cool, because I mean, not that for that she's kind of losing that friendship, but that she's grown so much in such a short amount of time, that she recognized what's valuable already.
And she said to me, she kept the humility. She said, I'm telling everyone about our Jesus. I'm telling everybody about what's going on. I'm telling them how they've got it all wrong, how they've been misled, this and that.
She's
And
going for
she's
it. That's
going
awesome.
for it.
Yeah.
And she's like, but I know that I'm still a baby Christian. I'm still on my baby legs, and I need to learn more. And I'm like, I am so proud of you for recognizing that in humility and understanding where you're at and not overextending yourself.
Well, and I mean, as Chris says, hopefully she helps some others. And I mean, I think this is probably, it sounds like a very noticeable change in her that other people can
no
recognize.
one can deny it. She went from miserable to, her words today, I wanted to die, and now I want to live to 100.
Oh.
She thanked me so profusely again today. She's like, I don't know how else to say this. Every day I just wanted to die, and now I want to live to be 100.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I mean, it's just such a blessing, and it's just such a message of don't give up, continue doing the next right thing. even when you mess up, even when you separate, even when you have blow-ups. Over those 13 years, we had many of estrangements.
Yeah.
And I need to get closer to God to be able to lead her. And I had to be able to, the key to everything was the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
When she came here and saw it wasn't just words,
Mm-hmm.
that it was, words with life change, which changed heart,
Yeah.
changed everything, with happy kids, functional marriage, a marriage full of love, et cetera, et cetera. That was the undeniable part where she said, I just couldn't deny it. There was no way I could deny it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she's actively, I mean, they've kind of, she's packing already, and they're just working through the logistics. They were hoping to just do a home equity loan to kind of get
They don't do
her
those in Canada.
her amount of cash out of the house so that she could leave. But yeah, they don't do that. So they kind of are only down to the option of selling, which wasn't their first choice. But both parties are moving forward willingly with that. So but she's packing, cleaning, like doing the whole thing, and thinks that it's going to go really quickly. So
Donna,
it's
keep her in your
June
prayers.
23rd. So I mean, August, September.
Yeah.
She's like gung ho, working her butt off to get here before the baby in October.
There's one thing I know about my mom. When she puts her mind to something, it's a million miles an hour until it happens. I wonder who that sounds like. But
where'd you get that from?
Yeah. So I have no doubt she's going to be here. And our plan here is she's going to buy a large RV, probably fifth wheel, 30 plus footer. That's going to be on the property right next to our house. For those of you who have been here, it'll be up on the hill alongside the driveway. She'll have her own driveway. She's right under the power. She's, everything's right there. Mm-hmm. And that'll be the temporary arrangement until we have time to build a barn dominium. But she'll be living in a massive, awesome, insert, slide out, nice, trailer doing mm-hmm. that. And I think she'll be very happy. We'll put a wraparound deck, put a deck around it, the whole thing.
Yeah. So we'll see. Definitely not betting against her as far as the timeline. So we'll see. Look into the new Elon Musk homes for $50,000.
Will do. I haven't seen them. We're really looking at, RVs, 30 plus foot RVs. She doesn't need a ton of bedrooms. She doesn't need to sleep 10. We want the bigger ones so she can get a full kitchen, full living room, full bath with maybe 2 bedrooms. And 2019 was the year we were told don't buy anything after that.
Yeah, because they all went to crap with COVID.
I went to crap with COVID and all that stuff.
I was just trying to think about the logistics of getting it on our property.
Well, a lot of them deliver.
But like turning into our property, a long rig like that.
Well, they'll probably come through the fence, come up the back, pull it forward and do that.
Come through the cows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to see.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was just trying to picture the angles.
Or it'll be in the driveway for a couple of days.
Because I just know that Dan, when he brought the tractor stuff, he said he couldn't get onto our property anyway. But anyways, we'll figure that out. Yeah, anything built during COVID is good. Yeah, we've seen, because we were looking at the RV lifestyle too, as you guys all know, that was 2020, 2021. And yeah, everything we were seeing was don't buy ones that are being built new right now because they are being rushed, because everyone's doing this, rushed and cheap. And they're all like, they're falling apart as soon as you get them out the lot.
So, I mean, there's still a lot to be happy for. I mean, the main thing right now is we got to get some pigs processed. I really wanted to process oink tomorrow. There's no way that's going to happen.
Oh, not oink, Bubbles.
Oh, sorry, Bubbles. Mm-hmm. There's no way that's going to happen. We're looking at weather right now to see if we can even get, this is our first week to be able to put the tractor up.
The crane.
With the crane up. So Um,
We can't even process some darn roosters.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's just been,
A mess.
it's been a mess, as you guys know. So, um, which I just remember the active shooter event for tomorrow is a no-go. We are postponing that. Um, and, so I don't know when we're going to do that. So it just, again, life is just so darn crazy right now. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. So yeah, we're trying to get a couple of pigs processed because our feed bills have gotten even though it's summer now, we're still it's a lot. I mean, we have a lot of animals on property, so we really need to start processing them.
Well, because we need food,
Yeah.
right? We need food. Awesome. Came to $8 per pound. Wow. You
Okay,
paid
so
$8 per pound?
So is that kind of all your entire investment over the course of raising them, Chris? I hope it's delicious for you. It's a little nerve wracking. The taste that you like the taste of the meat that you've worked so hard on raising.
I have no idea what it's going to even be.
We're not keeping track of anything close enough to know.
So that's everything you feed, everything that you went into that.
Mm-hmm. Compared to, I mean, that's pretty good.
It's good, but our first generation born on property will be less than that because we won't have the $1,000 investment.
You're not going to have the investment. Yeah. Did you do what amount of grain and kind of at what points in their life were you feeding them grain versus just grass fed, Chris? But yeah, we need to send some on their way. And then he had processing fees, which we're trying to avoid as well.
Yeah. So again, we get the pigos process now. I mean, that's going to be really interesting. I think we're going to sell most of Oink's kids.
Yeah. Last 4 months, corn and barley.
Yeah. Peg's pregnant again. We don't know if Kelly's pregnant.
So no one's heard this. So Kelly, so Alan Peg Bundy, right?
Yeah.
Is that
from Married with Children? There's Al.
So we
Bundy.
kept one female from Peg's litter, and we'll do at least one litter out of her as well. So she's Kelly, which I guess is the daughter.
Yeah, Kelly, and then one of the guys is Bud.
Well, so we were trying to decide that that's potentially Bud, but we were also thinking that
Bud is not permanent.
Two cut males that we have, so we were going to just
be,
name them like food names, like we've done with the
cows.
cows.
Yeah, like pork chop and sausage,
something like that. Yeah. Oh, we were going to do one Louis for St. Louis ribs.
Yeah, Louis,
and we needed another pork name. You guys can chime in.
The thing that I really need your guys' help on is we need help naming. We have to do a kind of a branding strategy.
Mm-hmm.
The future of the back, those who've been here, and it's only a few of you, but we're building a giant, well, right now it's a wedding venue in the back, and eventually it'll be a Christian event center, with cabins and a church and a wraparound deck and pavilion or an amphitheater. We're really thinking about a lot of stuff back there, and we're trying to set up for success. And right now we've got the cross. There's a cross up there, and it's beautiful. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I guess I could show.
You showed the pictures. Didn't you?
I won't bore you with them if I've more things. I showed them to you. But we've got a great wedding venue for people now to come see, and we want to start renting that out to start helping with the costs and stuff here, as well as we want to continue to make improvements. So thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. So we're trying to figure out what to name this place.
So yeah, so it needs a name that's recognizable. Like all of the other venues around here have. I mean, there's just a natural spot called the Beauty Spot, and everyone knows what that is. And then there's the
several barns and farms,
blah blah blah. And yeah,
so obviously Patriot Crusader Mission, is already the hardest name in the world for a church.
The cross at something, or the cross something is what we're thinking, or so people start just knowing us as the cross. But so we were tossing around the cross Mountain View so that they know exactly what they're getting, or the cross at PCM to do the logistics of where it is. What were some of the other ones?
Yeah, so Patriot Mountain is
so we call that Warriors Rest up there. Yeah. So the cross at Warriors Rest, which people don't know what Warriors Rest is, but it sounds cool. So if you have any ideas,
my original concept was this place to be a place for recharging for veterans and first responders and patriots, and to come here and for them to recharge, but also, retrain, learn new skills, and then go back out. So I wanted to kind of keep that Warriors Rest branding, but I don't know if that's the most appropriate thing going forward. I mean, everything that we're doing, is the hardest way possible. Our branding, Patriot Crusader Mission, the name for this show, is like nightmare mode on brand identity.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're a church, it doesn't sound like a church. If you're a ministry, it doesn't, it might be a ministry because you think of Wounded Warrior Mission.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, we're a PCM farm. So I was going to be the cross at PCM farm.
Yeah.
And then it just starts getting very wordy.
Yeah.
Mountain View Cross at Patriot Crusader Mission Farm.
Blah, blah, blah.
No.
Yeah.
Mountain View Cross at PCM Farm. And it's like, is this a time to do a brand reset? And you guys have been with us for years. And we're just trying to figure out, an organizational structure where we don't surrender the PCM brand, but everything becomes a little easier.
Mm-hmm. So Chris is Patriot Mountain, Patriots Cross, the cross.
I said the cross. That was my thing that I was saying the other day.
Crusaders Cross. I think it definitely has to have the cross in it because we want this to be clear that it's a Christian venue.
This is a Christian venue, and and we're going to hold people to that, right? And but at the same time, I want people to know that it is a venue. I almost thought, well, maybe we'll just make our thing Patriotic Weddings, right? Like our wedding. For those of you who weren't at our wedding was as patriotic as you can get. And this is not our vow renewal. This was our original wedding. We had a giant American flag hanging. We had a Navy SEAL trident this big underneath the flag. We had, before anyone even came in, and before we were even introduced as the bride and groom, we had dueling electric guitar Star Spangled Banner playing. It was, and I think there might be something for that, where we already have the decorations, we have this, and if you want to do a patriotic wedding, you can do it right here, right now. So I was thinking that type of thing because no one else is doing it.
Yeah. Okay. And it's going to be used likely for more than just weddings. So whether there's any hang up and not in that.
So again, I might put a poll out there, but I would love you guys to pray on it and think on it, particularly prayer warriors like you, Donna. Jesus has to be glorified by it. Everything else is secondary. I love the simplicity of the cross, but There are bigger crosses here. There are 3 crosses in Elizabethton.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you could do the cross in Johnson City or the cross at Johnson City so that people, like, it's not like a cool name, but
The
right
last
off
thing
the
I want to
bat.
be associated with is the city.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's nothing about this place that is city.
Yeah.
So the cross at the farm, the farm.
Just to distinguish,
that's the other thing.
The
is we have
3
animals.
crosses are Elizabethton. So I was just trying to distinguish that it's
I
not
know.
those crosses.
Yeah. So. The other thing is for photos, you can, depending on your timing, you can roll baby chicks in like we did, and baby pigs, and heck, even baby cows at some point in your photos, right? So again, we're trying to make this place pay for itself because it's so darn expensive to feed all these animals.
Mm-hmm.
And so anything would help. So again, thinking about this, guys, in a prayerful way, what would glorify Christ? Because if it's not about him, then it's about us, and we don't want it to be about us.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we're going to make a Facebook page for it with our event pictures and share that out and invite photographers to come do free sessions for a little while to start, and then just asking kind of an exchange that we can share kind of their pictures as marketing, and just get the name out there a little bit, and then start charging in the fall foliage season.
Yeah,
is the thought.
Thanks for that, Chris. I enjoyed doing the Father's Day sermon, it wasn't your typical Father's Day sermon. I think I only mentioned Father's Day on it a couple times, but Nehemiah 4 is a chapter of how to trust in the Lord without testing the Lord under duress and stress.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, it's on our webpage. If you go to our webpage, patriotcrusadermission.org, there's a donate thing down the page if you want to give financially. You just click on that and print out a receipt for your taxes, the whole thing there. That
works, Chris. Catching them later in the week.
Doesn't matter when you watch them. I appreciate you watching them. Again, our new service time is now 4 p.m. We're gradually working our way, I think, to mornings. We just got to figure out what that is with chores. So we're going to stay at 4 for a bit and see how that goes. 4 was a struggle for me. How about you?
4 worked fine for me because I didn't have to deal with getting chores done and dinner done right before. So that was actually, that's easier on me. But yeah, it bumps up all of the prep is the only thing.
Yeah.
So Saturday is going to become a heavier prep day versus kind of.
And then it's like, then you don't get any days off. Right now we don't have.
Well, you would have the rest of Sunday. Like, so if you did sermon in the morning on Sunday, then you have the rest of Sunday.
But right now at 4, it's prepping and then management, congregation management and help. I don't mean that in a negative way, meaning that people need stuff. Mm-hmm. So there is no day off. Like Saturday is the only day.
Yeah.
Just farm chores, farm projects, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, so please prayerfully consider naming the wedding venue, because eventually that's going to be a giant thing. It's going to be 10, 12, 14 cabins. There's going to be a church up there.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking at, Patriot Crusader Mission and saying, should that just be what this is, and the warrior camps and the forgings and all that stuff? And should we name the church something else?
Can we rename after the filing?
Sure. Totally. And I'm just kind of wondering, Christ Warrior Church, something like that, something more with Jesus' name in it is something that really screams to me that I've been dealing with.
Mhm.
You know, when I look at, I know the logic, and when I branded this, it was I wanted to go after patriots, you know, people who are already patriots to turn them into crusaders. You know, that was the mission,
Mhm.
right? So when you look at Patriot Crusader mission, it was finding people who loved America, turning them to Jesus was the mission.
Mhm.
Um, that's a really small net, particularly
It's
when you're
proving
trying to
to
do
be.
stuff local.
Mhm.
You know, it's a great net when you're fishing the interwebs,
Mhm.
but not so much when you're trying to preach Christ in the lives here locally. Haven at the Cross. That's another good one.
Mhm.
You know, we don't have a haven there yet. We just have
It's
a
the Lord's haven.
at the cross.
Yeah.
So, you know, so again, we welcome, we have no ego in this. I just want to serve the Lord in this. And, you know, Lauren and I we're having to schedule time, days in advance to even have a discussion about this.
We're having it right now.
Yeah. I've been trying to talk about this since I got back from NRB.
Mhm.
Right? That's how ridiculous it's gotten. Right. So, so I get to work through it with you guys, or we get to work through it with
I
you
think
guys.
it's a better sounding board than just I can provide.
Yeah. I just need somebody with some creative juices to help inspire, because
Well, I think Donna's going to start rattling some things off at you.
well, that's good. Well, there's few better people than Donna to turn on to give a mission to.
Mhm.
So, just Donna, don't drop any "Thus saith the Lord" when you're trying to tell me a name. So, but yeah, that's pretty much where we're in right now. Right? We had a tough week of exhaustion, of sprinting, lost all our support, and next week will be better.
Mhm.
And the key is we never stop taking ground.
Mhm.
We kept rolling, we kept going, you know. Yeah, can't do that. That pays the bills, Donna. Right. So, you know, I can't in good faith take a
Yeah,
salary.
that's the primary job. So
That's the primary
not.
job, and I'm a professional. So other things have to go with that. So I'm a professional, and I'll go to work and I'll do my job, and you know, that's what that is. You know, everything else has to go before that.
Mhm.
So, but you know, PCM is the only military veteran church there is in the USA, perhaps the world. First of its kind, the Lord's plan is for TSPCM. There's got to be somebody out there other than us, Brandy. And you know what I've discovered about cops and veterans is they talk a good game about what they want, but when it comes time to make time to show up, they don't show up. They're busy. They'd rather go to the bar. They'd rather go do other things,
Pick
and
up shifts, or their
they
schedule
pick up
changes,
shifts,
or
you know, they're so it's really hard to do it in any meaningful way, you know. So that's why we really decided to bring back Fridays, you know, and why I've got rid of the Friday flyers, because I'd rather cast a broader net to reach veterans in California, Massachusetts, New York, Minnesota, you know, Rhode Island, you name it, you know, Illinois, where life is hell for them, and you know, Boston, et cetera. So, you know, that's what we're trying to do right now, by doing that. But here in Johnson City, there's more churches than anything else, for real. I mean, there's so many churches here. I mean, if Yellow Pages still existed, the thickest section would be churches, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Which is often the case in the South, right? Which is often the case in the South. but and we are very different. My theology is Reformed, which in the South puts me, in the Baptist camp, but I'm not a Baptist, obviously. I actually have fun in my life. I'm not devoid of all joy, So, 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 so it's a pretty pickle we put ourselves in. We're not in the charismatic crazy movement, right? So I just can't stomach being around insanity. The rest of it is trying to fit it, find other people who think like we do, which seems to be pretty challenging. And Lauren's over there laughing at me.
It's some of the way you describe exactly what you are and what the requirements are. I can't stand the charismatic crazy people.
Well, it's just.
Hey, Patty.
Hey, Patty. Good to see you.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
I've just heard enough fantastic stuff to turn me off. But again, we'll work with anyone. I sat down with a gentleman from a rather large ministry here, had breakfast with him this week. It's all about, I'm all about taking ground for the Lord, and that's what we'll try to continue to do here at PCM. And I will say we are getting new blood in the church. We are getting new people. And I believe that's going to continue to be the way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. Appreciate that. And the wedding venue is going to continue to spread the word. The farm, Lauren has been doing a great job. I mean, who would have thought her dealing her sea seeds, meaning the chicken seeds, which are the eggs. So, so again, she's been really carrying us with eggs or helping with eggs and milk and butter and everything else during the lean time.
Yeah. Little $6 a dozen adds up here and there.
It does. I got a stack of ones. It looks like I've been to a stripper bar. Like I'm going, like I was showing somebody, like, how many dances did you have to do to earn that?
Come on.
Talking about me, how many dances I had to earn because I had it. It was like 40 ones.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, just one.
Just one. I handed it over pretty quickly.
So, so again, it's all good news. It's just, we want to model Christian life, not only when it's good, but when it's hard and when you're exhausted and when you're struggling, because, so many people get up there and it's like they drop in the role. I don't know how many pastors you see out there. They put on this plastic face and it's, hi, and they got their voice and they've got this persona and they project that. And we're not ever going to do that here. We're going to be real with you across the board. There's one thing we want to be is real. And that's what you see is what you get. Your pastor's up there.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, your pastor's struggling just as much as you are.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling with the baby? I mean,
good.
A lot of people know or don't know that we had feared that we had lost the baby at one point.
Yeah, there's no concerns at all anymore.
I've been feeling some thunder kicks and punches.
Jason can feel him moving around. I can kind of see my belly from the outside moving some, so he's getting stronger in there. 23 weeks, I think, on Monday. I don't even care.
Like
you don't keep track the way you do the first
one
time.
Was like, we knew everything about everything. And we got beat.
It's like, I think
and then Anya came and we didn't pay attention to any of that and we got Anya. And now we're caring even less. We better start caring more about the milestones.
Sure, I'm sure that's what did it. No, but I'd say the only thing, my belly's growing.
She's got a bump.
So the only thing that's gotten
lowercase
harder
b is in effect.
Is I carry Anya in like a hiking backpack for chores, and so I can't do my waistband as tight, and so it's just changed kind of the weight.
Yes, Patty, it's a boy.
Yes. Thank you, Donna. Yeah. Yes, praise the Lord. But yeah, so anyway, so it's just it's more uncomfortable and more unwieldy carrying Anya because I can't fasten like have my hips carry most of the weight anymore because it's not as comfortable across the belly bump. So anyway, it's all jacked up.
So Lauren is no longer the first person to enter the room. Magnus Luther enters the room way before.
Wait, no. Before.
So
before, not way before. Third trimester is way before.
Claudia asked if the girl's excited. B's excited.
Yes, I was talking.
I'm worried that Anya's going to kill her.
Anya obviously has no idea. She has no grasp on that at this point, and it's going to be. We keep when we first found out that I was pregnant, we're like, okay, we've got 9 months for her to straighten up and like get her act together, and then every month that goes by, okay, she still has, so now it's like, okay, we're down to 4 months. What's going to change in Anya's world in 4 months? First, she's a Velcro, clingy, wants to be picked up all the time. I don't know how she's going to handle when I have full arms of helpless baby. And literally,
it's going to be nightmare mode, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So we
have a name, and his name is Magnus, which means great. And then Luther is his middle name, which means warrior of the people. So that is the name. Lauren has had a chance to present one, and we are 23 weeks in, and she has not come up with anything better.
I have almost half to go.
So that is the name.
So anyway, that's the default name unless anything does come along that is like, oh, yes. But right now, my name choice is not Thor, so therefore Magnus is top of the list.
Thank you, Patty. I think it's a beautiful name as well. And even its greatest naysayers, it wears on them. They're like, you know what? That's a pretty darn cool name.
There's some people who like it right away, and then some people it's been growing on. And that's what it's still doing for me. In the same way that I didn't like Anya, or it took, because Anya was in the running for B, and I didn't like it for her. And so it took a bit, but now she's Anya.
That's the last name I would call her right now. Yeah, she was.
So
she makes a great Hilda. Yeah. Well,
No, as I've said, I totally understand, because Anya means God has favored me, or
Thank you, Donna. Thank you.
And I can understand that now, because she should have been gravely injured or killed multiple times.
Oh yeah.
And she hasn't. I understand.
I don't even stop her.
I understand God's favor now.
I don't even stop her falling anymore.
No,
like, you guys don't understand. She falls off the table, the kitchen table chairs constantly. And
she's a
climber.
In the beginning, on being as high as possible.
I would hover around her and be there. Now it's like, you got to learn, kid. And she'll fall, and then she'll get up 7 minutes later.
She doesn't
fall.
7 minutes later, like 7 seconds later. She doesn't. Your mission doesn't.
Exactly. And again, to pivot back to this, it's just, I want to glorify Christ to the most. And, Patriot Crusader mission can still be a part of what we do. But I want, so many people are intimidated to come here because they think they need to be a veteran to show up. And I don't want that to be the case. I want everyone to feel welcome to come here,
which is so funny because, well, I guess it's because of the tagline, a church for veterans, first responders, and patriots, even though our first word in our name is patriot. So they just miss the patriot part.
Yeah, most people don't identify themselves as a patriot, I guess. Whereas being up north, in Massachusetts with the Patriots, everyone, again, that's the birthplace of America. Yeah. And, everyone, we're all taught about Paul, Paul Revere and John Adams, John Quincy Adams, and everything's right there. So patriot is a very familiar term up there. You come in the South and it's not so much.
Well, now it's equivalent to all of the
And now it means you're a
domestic
white,
terrorist
you're a
and-
domestic terrorist, right? Exactly. So again, we're just trying to search for our identity. The plan is not a name; it is a mission for Jesus. The plan is not a name. I'm not sure I understand that sentence, Christopher.
Sounds like you're getting deep, Chris.
But regardless, here's the thing: is in reality, this place should be multiple things, right? One, it's a farm because we grow and raise. Well, we raise
We have products.
stock.
We have livestock and
We raise
farming
beef,
products.
pork, chicken, eggs, and dairy, right? So it's a farm. It's a church, as we prove every Sunday. Exactly, Brandy. It's also a training mission where, which we've kind of gotten away from.
that's the least of it right now. Yeah, we haven't done a forging.
I haven't
since
done a
Anya's been
forging in a
born.
long time, just because we're doing the
It's too much.
day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
But eventually it's going to be a Christian retreat / event center. When we have a bunch of log cabins up on the hill in the back and people are coming and staying, and doing weddings and renting them out and staying in them, or we're doing father-son retreats or mother-daughter retreats, or, prodigals returning or renewing your marriage retreats. These are the types of things that we want to do here, as well as firearms training and, and warrior discipling and men's ministry and all that stuff. I see a lot of people trying to do men's ministry, and most of it's just a sham, unfortunately. It's very disappointing. Crossroads Cross.
Parish.
I got to think about that one. Parish is typically a Catholic name,
Is it?
or parish is usually reserved for Catholic regions. So
Mm.
you're a part of, if you go to this church, you're part of that parish.
That's okay. I didn't realize that was a Catholic.
Yeah,
thing.
that's a Catholic thing, from what I understand.
Mhm.
So it makes sense because you were probably raised Catholic for you to think parish, Christopher.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we don't have to decide it today, but we need to come up with a name for the wedding venue up there. And it looks great up and down the street now.
Yeah.
We cut away so much of the vegetation. We're getting ready to do another cut of the vegetation up there.
And the clover seeds.
And
are
the
gonna-
clover that we put down, guys, we put clover down on this red mud, and we put red clover down, and it has exploded, like, better than I ever could have thought.
Yeah.
And now we're getting ready to put white clover down, and so there'll be white and,
And
red clover
wildflower
and
seeds.
wildflowers up there, so it'll just be even more beautiful. And we're going to keep beating it down so we have a better view. Eventually, we want all three of those hills to be nothing but wildflowers and beautiful,
Mhm.
with specific trees that we want up there, evergreens and things
Yeah.
like that around there. So, but we have yapped enough tonight. I am exhausted and I want to go to bed with my wife. No joy, what a bummer. So, you want to take us home?
Sure.
Or she's on fumes too.
All right. Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for this night of fellowship, a night that I confess I do not always look forward to in the build-up, but I'm always grateful that I sat in this chair next to Jason and in front of everyone who's watching and listening tonight, because it does always recharge the soul. So thank you for that reminder, and please forgive me personally for ever doubting that. Thank you for each and every person who put aside their night to join us tonight, and for their prayers and their support and everything that they've done for us. And I pray that we give that back to them tenfold and support them in ways in their life that they need. And we speak so often and so much of what's going on in our life, and Lord, but we want to know just as much about them. So I pray that they know that, and that they can reach out to us individually or through these conversations, so that we as a community can pray for everybody here. Lord, thank you for your hand on us this week, for getting us through, and just for us all getting to Friday. And please forgive us for the ways that we sinned against you in the struggles and in the trials, and for all of the ways that we fell short. And just thank you for giving us another day to try again. We are grateful for that, as we do not deserve it. Lord, as we move into the weekend, I pray a blessing of peace and health and safety over everyone listening. And I just ask, as a favor for us, that this conversation we've had about naming the cross, the venue that we have worked so hard to create to serve you, Lord, that if you can speak into their hearts so that they can pray about a name to inspire this venue that is in your glory, so that we can name it and share it, and have people come and enjoy it. Lord, thank you, and we love you. Amen.
Amen. All right, everyone. God bless you. We will see you. Well, we'll see you Sunday for church, 4 p.m. now, 4 p.m. And we will see you next week. All right.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Bye.